Well, about half of life and death happens while we're sleeping, and that was no different for those of us in Australia when we woke up early this morning to news of the passing of Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, the brother, Hulkamania itself, I guess. And I'm not usually one to post about such things or lazily update a Facebook profile every time someone famous passes away. But this one does feel a little different for a number of reasons. I don't think it's exactly an exaggeration to say that this is probably the most notable celebrity passing since Elvis or JFK. I don't think I'm really exaggerating all that much. So the reason being, Hulk Hogan did transcend all generations. He transcended all cultures, all nations. He did a much better job of bringing the world together than any of our politicians do, that's for sure. Part of me was secretly hoping that someday he would run for president. But now that mantle, that hope probably goes on to The Rock, I guess. So, Rock, if you're watching, we need you right now more than ever. So, this content's a little different to my other videos. My other videos are more about horror movies, exploitation movies, cult movies, but I kind of think that wrestling fans cross over with that demographic, and vice versa. So a lot of horror fans love wrestling, a lot of wrestling fans love horror. So it does seem appropriate this morning to go for a walk early and shoot this video on my thoughts. So, there's always been a lot of debate around Hogan, a lot of controversy, a lot of debate about who was the greatest of all time. I don't think any of us can really argue now that he is the GOAT of professional wrestling. He's the Babe Ruth of professional wrestling and always will be. He's one of those rare individuals that'll probably be remembered for centuries, I'd say, and part of a fairly exclusive club in that regard. And, yeah, he didn't have the, technically the greatest wrestling skills in the world. I don't think anyone would argue that. Even a lot of pro wrestling pundits and talking heads used to always say that their grandmother did a better wrist lock than Hulk Hogan did. But he'd probably be the first one to admit that as well. And that didn't really matter. I mean, Hulk Hogan proved that, like Jake the Snake Roberts, it wasn't all about the in-ring athletic ability. Both of those guys could really perform up a storm long after their bodies had sort of slowed down a little. And yeah, it is quite a shock, I guess. I don't think I'm the only one that kind of assumed that Hogan would be around forever. Hulkamania would be alive forever. And I know that makes no logical sense, obviously, but he did seem like one of those individuals that had at least become a centenarian. So he is one of those guys that did teach us a lot about humanity. I think he taught us that you can be a troubled individual and still achieve a lot of good. As I said, he did bring a lot of people together. If you mentioned Hulk Hogan in a conversation, it didn't matter if you were sitting around a bar with a bunch of different people from different cultural backgrounds, different economic backgrounds. I think everyone could relate and everyone could bond if Hulk Hogan happened to come on the screen in a sports bar or something like that. So he was one of the rare individuals that could really unite everyone on the planet. I mean, I'd be very surprised if there aren't millions of people in India right now mourning the loss, millions in China, millions in Iran, millions in other places, maybe not North Korea, because I don't know if they know about Hulk Hogan. That's an interesting question. Perhaps someone can enlighten me about the status of Hulk Hogan's reputation in North Korea. But yeah, I think he'd even be mourned in Iran right now, even though he did clash with the enemies of the United States from that part of the world from time to time. I'm sure they still respected him. And I do have fond memories of Hulk Hogan chasing General Adnan around the ring during the Iraq War conflict. Pro wrestling was always great like that. For a kid like me, it was always the touchstone of what was happening in the world right now, what people were afraid of, their hopes and dreams. Not so much these days. It's all, unfortunately, shades of grey like the rest of the world. And the world was a much more innocent, more fun place when it was more colourful. Back in the day, more fluoro yellow, fluoro greens, so on and so forth. And now, unfortunately, pro wrestling, like everything else in life, is shades of grey, shades of black. And I don't think I'm the only one that's a bit disappointed to see that the world's gone this way. And we could learn a lot from the glory days of pro wrestling, the rock and wrestling days, and Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, even the lesser known guys like the Repo Man, the Goon, the Brooklyn Brawler, and of course Ric Flair, who's probably second only to Hulk Hogan in my book. But it is a sad day for not just wrestling fans, but for, I think, for everyone. I'd be fairly surprised if at least half the planet isn't feeling some sense of loss this morning about Hulk Hogan, because he was a touchstone in everyone's lives, especially when back in the day when we had 3 television stations, 3 radio stations. Culture was a lot more united. Life was a lot less divisive. Countries were a lot more united. And Hulk Hogan was one of those people that did unite not only Americans, but people around the world. Unless you happen to be a designated heel with the WWF back in the day, like General Adnan, for example, or the Iron Sheik. But that's another story. So, yeah, sorry to see the big guy go, the brother. I'm guessing he's riding his jet ski off into the sunset right now, and joining all the other legends that were taken too soon. Pro wrestling is a very hazardous business to be in, to say the least, for these guys. They tend to burn brightly and then burn out. And in that regard, he did live a longer life than most seem to. But he will be sorely missed. So I'll pop a few Hogan memories in the video here when I get a chance, and upload it when I get a chance after I finish work. And if you have any Hogan memories, if you feel like sharing, by all means go ahead and share in the comments. This isn't the sort of video I normally do, but as I said, I think there's a pretty big crossover between fans of B-movies, horror movies, exploitation movies, cult films, and wrestling fans, and vice versa. So I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. So thanks for joining me here on Fulci Metal Jacket. And if you did enjoy this video, by all means, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.